Hello and welcome to Brewers Daily, part of the Fan Arch Podcast Network. This episode is brought to you by Kalshi. Use promo code FANARCHBASEBALL to get $10 when you trade 10. I'm Dave Gasper. Lots to get to here on a Tuesday show. The Brewers come back and beat the Reds on Monday night to start that 4-game series against Cincinnati, and the heroics from Joey Ortiz we'll get into here. Also the bullpen. We're going to talk about some ABS challenges as well, and also a look down on the farm, an update as well in this one. But we got to start with the big story here. Joey Ortiz coming through in the clutch, and this has been such a long time coming. It's been such a tough stretch, past really, couple of years offensively for Joey Ortiz, but for him to have been struggling at the plate like he has, to be losing his starting job the way that he has. Cooper Pratt's come up. He's been playing every day at short. Ortiz has moved back to third, and he's been in a much more of a part-time role than he's been in the past couple of seasons. And for him to have all those struggles that he has in big-time moments, to be up there in the eighth, have the Reds, make a pitching change to get to him, and Ortiz comes through with a home run to dead center. He's shouting at the ball, get out, get out, get out, and he didn't know he got it or not, but then just the pure joy, the pure, just absolute happiness for Joey Ortiz as he sees that ball hit off the batter's eye and sees the home run come through, just screaming as he's rounding the bases. He even forgets to acknowledge the bullpen and point out to those guys. Trevor McGill said they'll let it slide this time, but you could see everyone in the dugout was just ecstatic for Joey Ortiz to be able to come through. They love him in there. They're so happy for him to come through. Pat Murphy was happy for him. Everyone was. We were getting the crowd. The crowd was chanting his name. Joey, Joey, Joey. He gets a little mini curtain call after the inning. They finally get him out a little bit, and he kind of raises his fist towards the crowd. That's just such a cool moment for him to have struggled for so long at the plate. Despite playing great defense at shortstop and being so good over there, and that's kept him in the lineup for so long, to have gone through those struggles and to be up there in that moment and to come through and to have the crowd acknowledge you the way that they did, that's just got to be so incredible. Such a great feeling for Joey Ortiz. He talked about how he basically kind of blacked out after the home run, which, it is fair. You kind of see that a lot with some of those big homers. Like, what was going through your head? Literally no idea. Blacked out, during those moments. But so happy for Joey O. My friend Kurt Hogue of the Journal Sentinel found this stat and put it out there. That was Joey Ortiz's first hit with a runner in scoring position, because there was a runner on second, since June 1st. So it had been the entire month, basically. And it's just his second hit with runners in scoring position since April 28th. So 2 hits with runners in scoring position over 2 months. Went all of May without one. And it has just been a slog for Ortiz at the plate, trying to get going, and he finally was able to, and just came up in the biggest moment for this group. And they were down 3-0 in this game. And, you get a home run from Bryce Terang, who's also been kind of going through it. Obviously nowhere near the scale of Joey Ortiz, but Bryce Terang's been going through it a little bit at the plate. He's able to deliver a home run to dead center. You're able to manufacture a couple of runs once you got Nick Lodolo out of the game. Lodolo had a 6-something ERA when the Brewers first faced him last week, and then he goes 5 scoreless against them tonight. He went 4 scoreless against them last week, so 9 scoreless. His ERA is dropping for Nick Lodolo. They couldn't get anything against him. Once the Reds went to their bullpen and Chase Petty, the Brewers were able to put some runs on the board, but still, the struggles there with runners in scoring position largely continued up until that point. Lots of missed opportunities, but they came through and they got enough and got the comeback win tonight, or Monday night, and that leads to Aaron Ashby getting the 11th win of the season as he came in out of the bullpen. But another guy who's kind of deserving of some recognition here out of that bullpen is Chad Patrick. And Chad Patrick, as we've kind of talked about a little bit, and as we've seen if you've been watching the games, Chad Patrick has been struggling a little bit lately. Really not been looking his sharpest. The command hasn't really been there for him. The stuff has seemingly been good, but again, the location, the execution of the stuff, of the pitches, was not entirely there. So that did kind of become a bit of a problem for him. But at the same time, I mean, you look at his performance on Monday night, he really bounced back strong. He was able to have, I mean, he went, let's see, what would this be here? Um, 21 pitches, and I think 18 of them were strikes. So he was filling up the zone. He was not struggling with command at all, and the stuff was ticking up even more. Chad Patrick topped out at 98.5 miles an hour on his fastball. The average on the fastball in his 1 1/3 innings on Monday night, 97.2 miles an hour. That's an improvement of over 2 miles an hour over a season average on that four seamer. His four seamer average is 95. He was sitting 97, hitting 98 on it tonight. So that is truly impressive. They're seeing that stuff tick up for him. Four seamer, cutter, sinker. So really just the fastball variations that he was going with there, but able to find success with it and kind of keep those guys honest. I mean, they have to honor that four-seam fastball instead of just looking for the cutter. That's what Pat Murphy talked about in the postgame with Patrick being able to have that success, make that kind of adjustment. So great to see that for Chad Patrick. Great to see that rebound, that bounce back for him because he's really needed it. He's definitely gone through it quite a bit here over the last several outings that he has had. And I mean, like you look back, it was a game against the Cubs, 2/3 of an inning, 4 runs. Give up the homer, gave up a run against the Reds last time as well. Then facing the Braves, 3 innings, 2 runs there. Gave up 4 runs in an inning against the Phillies. Really struggled against the Guardians. Gave up those 3 runs, or not Guardians, the Athletics. Gave up those 3 runs there. So since that Athletics series, when he pitched against them on the 10th. Over the past couple of weeks, it's really kind of been a slog for him. So for Patrick to be able to have that kind of success on Monday night, really positive sign for him that things can be moving in the right direction, and perhaps he's figured something out there in terms of making an adjustment because the Brewers are going to need him in that bullpen. They're going to need him pitching some big-time roles, big-time innings, and they need him certainly at his best here. So great job by Patrick, and then he hands it off to the rest of the bullpen there. Aaron Ashby, again, he comes in a tie game, gets the job done, and then the Brewers take the lead while he's still the pitcher of record, which means he gets his 11th win of the season, and then Trevor Megill locks it down. Also, Trevor Megill has been doing fantastic of late as well. Since that blow-up in April where he had those back-to-back outings where he just really stunk, since then, he has pitched in 27 games and has a 1.33 ERA. He's allowed just 4 runs, he's allowed just 5 walks, and he has struck out 38 in those 27 games, covering 27 innings. So Trevor Megill has been fantastic. He deserves some flowers there as well. And you can buy a lot of flowers with the winnings you can get on Kalshi, where you can trade every single game. And looking ahead to this game here tonight that the Brewers have coming up against Cincinnati Reds, because this series is continuing. We got 4 games coming up here. So you have Brandon Sproat on the bump, Rhett Lauder there for Cincinnati. I'm looking at this game, and look, the Brewers did win this game on Monday night by 2 runs, technically, so they won by more than 1.5. So if I'm looking at that as an opportunity here as well on the spread, the Brewers are currently trading at 44% on Kalshi to win this game tonight by over 1.5 runs, which means a $100 trade pays out $218 with a win. And, even though the Brewers have struggled with runners in scoring position, they were able to do it on Monday night, and I think they got a pretty good chance of being able to do it again. Now they got maybe a little bit of momentum coming off this game here. On Kalshi, you're trading against peers in a live market, meaning there's no house. And as the probability changes, you can buy in and out of your position. For a limited time, download the Kalshi app and use promo code FANARCHBASEBALL to get $10 when you trade 10, Kalshi, Kalshi, trade on anything. All right. Now, with all the positives there that we had just kind of talked about with the game on Monday night, there's also some negatives still to worry about. The ABS challenges and the challenge system has been challenging for the Brewers because they went 0 for 2 again on Monday night. Bad challenge behind the plate, or one that didn't work for William Contreras. Gary Sanchez thought he had a walk and challenged a pitch, and sure enough, it was a strike instead, and then he walks on the next pitch. It ended up... The Brewers were out of challenges in the fourth inning. And Sanchez challenges as much as anyone. He has made 51 challenges this year combined between behind the plate and as a hitter. He's challenged 23 times as a hitter, and he's challenged 28 times as a catcher. And, he's done far better as a catcher than he has as a hitter. 9 for 23 now as a hitter. And as a catcher, I believe 17 for 28. So, he's been struggling of late, especially at the plate. It's one thing. The Brewers have a much higher success rate of challenging from their catchers, from Contreras and Sanchez making those challenges. Much higher success rate. Their hitters, not so much. The hitters have made 50 ABS challenges on the season. Sanchez has made 23 of them, naturally. But 9 for 23 for him. And the rest of the group overall is now at 44% on the season. But if you look at kind of the trend as of late, the Brewers in their last 23 ABS challenges or combined offense and defense are 6 for their last 23. That is 26% on ABS challenges going back to June 18th. So the past 11, 12 days, the Brewers are 6 for 23 on ABS challenges. That's not good. That is objectively not good. A quarter of the time, they're actually getting it right there on ABS. And, they're using some of these challenges early in games. It kind of hamstrings you a bit later on when there's some other opportunities where, hey, maybe you'd like to challenge, but not able to do it. And sometimes there are pitches that they should challenge, things where they would get the call correct, and they choose not to. But then they end up choosing a different pitch later on that they shouldn't have challenged. And it's just, they have not been very good at it. They continue to struggle with it. They're a little bit better maybe early on, but they were very selective. But really, the past couple of weeks, kind of as we've also seen the runners in scoring position issue, we're seeing the ABS challenge issue here that they're dealing with as well. But that is just kind of something to keep an eye on here, because those challenges can change the game if you use them wisely and effectively and are able to keep them in your pocket as the game goes along, and they just have not been able to do that as of late. So that is certainly a struggle for them that they're going to have here. All right. Lastly here, I want to get to a note on the Brewers farm system as well. The Brewers are promoting yet another prospect. No, not to the major league level, but further up the system. Josiah Ragsdale is moving up to Double-A Biloxi from High-A Wisconsin. He has been with the Timber Rattlers, and Ragsdale has been absolutely phenomenal for them, hitting .327 with 18 doubles, 7 homers, 24 stolen bases, and a .975 OPS. Ragsdale has been fantastic. And Ragsdale, you may not know of him. He may not be a household name in terms of being a prospect, but Midwest League Player of the Week this past week before getting promoted. He was a 7th round pick in last year's draft out of Boston College. Yes, the same school as Sal Frelick is from, so another BC outfielder for the Brewers. But Josiah Ragsdale, 22 years old, left-handed hitter, really good speed, showing some really good pop as well, and obviously the contact skills, the bat-to-ball skills, a 447 OPS. He's drawing walks at a really high clip also. So that is really great to see. So he's getting the bump up to Double A Biloxi, and he is joining Andrew Fisher, who's there. He's joining Josh Adamszewski, who's there, and obviously, of course, Jesus Made, Blake Burke up there in Double A Biloxi. Plus, you got the pitching staff. So it is quite the loaded lineup now in Double A Biloxi. And we've been looking at a pretty loaded lineup in Appleton for most of the year too, with a couple of those guys. But now those guys are moving on up to Biloxi, so these guys are getting closer and closer to the big leagues. They're not quite ready yet to help this season, but potentially sometime next year, I think that is certainly on the table for guys like this. So they're names to keep in mind. That farm system for the Brewers is the best in baseball. So that is how they continue to win year in and year out. Whenever you trade away a Freddie Peralta or you lose a Willie Adames, you have other guys coming up that can help out and help this become a winning team year after year after year. That's how they keep doing it in the NL Central. So another prospect on the move, and we'll see. Who else from this farm system may be able to help the big league club at some point this season. So we'll be breaking all of that down here on Brewers Daily throughout the year as all that stuff comes up. And so be sure to subscribe, get notified if you have not already. Follow me on Twitter as well at dgasper24. Tons of great content up there, content from the clubhouse, from the manager's office, and all these other, news and notes that I'm able to hear at the ballpark. So tons of great stuff there. Appreciate all of you watching and listening, and we'll see you again next time for another episode of Brewers Daily.